Hi, good morning, and welcome to Most Beautiful Collections Academy. Today, I'll be teaching you soap making, hand wash, car wash, and every other thing you can think about using liquid soap for. So, are you ready for this? You're welcome. So, stay tuned as you listen to our chemicals and what they are being used for. Thank you. This is the soda ash. We have the Tezapon here. Very good for boosting the foaming quality of the soap. We have the caustic soda. This is the main active nitrosol foaming agent, SLS, and this is STPP, sulfonic acid. We have the color blue and green was what I bought, the blue and the green colors. This is the fragrance. I also bought this spray pump and some plastics that we're going to use to package it. So here we have already set up what we're going to use to mix it, because some of these chemicals are first of all dissolved first, and you need to also label the containers to know which chemicals are in which. Here I've already measured out my water. We're making 10 liters of soap, and this is the soap ingredients that we're going to use. So I had to start soaking it. I first of all pour the nitrosol into 5 liters of water, pour it out, and begin to dissolve by stirring. So nitrosol is the chemical that thickens the soap. We'll pour it into the base, which is water, and we stir up to begin our soap making. Remember, we're making 10 liters of liquid soap. And so after pouring it, what is very key is to mix properly and make sure that you wear your gloves, wear your nose masks, protect yourself. Make sure you're doing this in a very ventilated area and free from any other disturbance, and a sterile environment, of course. And so I mixed it. This one is very easy to dissolve, and so I stirred it a bit and I found out that it has really dissolved at this point. And so I needed to put my next chemical is the soda ash, caustic soda first, and then soda ash. So I first of all put a caustic soda. I told you that is the main cleansing agent. Sometimes you may just, if you add it in the soap, it means you can use the soap to clean anything and anywhere. This is very active, and it's also used in production of solid soap. After pouring it, I had to just pour water into the plastic to make sure that everything goes out, but I'm not pouring the water yet. And so I mixed it. When I began to stir, I noticed that it was thickening, and that is expected. So I stir properly and make sure that it is dissolved. That is why it is very important to soak this before. In chemistry or in microbiology, we call it pre-treatment. You have to pre-treat it before time. Sometimes you can even soak it overnight. But now I just soaked it for some minutes before I used it. All right, and the next one is the soda ash. When the soda ash is not enough in a soap, it is doomed to be watery. And so make sure that you get the right quantity for soda ash for your soap, and make sure it is properly dissolved. So at this point, it is dissolved completely. Some people just pour the white chemical directly like this, but it's not really ideal. You need to soak it in the water. That's why I told you that I made the water into two different halves, 5 liter here and 5 liter there. I used part of the first 5 liter to begin to soak the chemicals I told you about. So as I turned it, stir it completely. Make sure the whole thing is dissolved. Make sure it's dissolved. There's a reaction happening there. You can see it's no longer as thick as before, but don't worry. If it's feeling watery, it's because it's reacting with a base, because that caustic soda is a very strong base. The next thing we put is the STPP. STPP is very important in helping the water quality of that you're using. So the water you are using to make this soap is very important. So I added it. That one is very quick to dissolve, and so I added my next ingredient, STPP. It's quick to dissolve. It helps help the water quality. It doesn't really stay up in a lot of high reaction. So I added it, and as well as added some water to make sure that this is dissolved later on. So stir stir completely, so making is all about stirring. And why you just make it in small quantities is because the stress is reduced. You don't need to stir a whole bulk of soap, so it's better to make it in small quantities. Or if you're having high demands, you may have to go for a mixer. Go and get a mixer in Ojota. This is our surfactant. This is the Tezapone. I've really mixed it together with Tezapone in the beginning. Tezapone and sulfonic acid was what I mixed. This is a very major step in soap making. So if you don't dissolve this aspect completely, oh no, you're in for a ride. So you can see it's very hard to mix at this point. I had to take time and mix it for a long time. Yeah, well, I've already mixed it to a point. You can see it's thickening up, because if you don't look at it, it's already mixed up, right? Before this recording this, I already stirred it for more than 5 minutes to make sure it's completely dissolved. Look at, I was trying to show you some of the particles are still here. Some of the brown particles of the sulfonic are still here. So I was checking for the thickness, because this is just the quality test. You need to make sure your soap is thick, but you may not really get what you want here. If it's not thick at this point, don't worry, because everything, this mixture now is a bit hot. If you can check the plastic, you notice that it is warm. Sulfonic acid is hot on its own. That's how you even know that it's a great chemical. This is the SLS, which is a very foaming agent. I added it here. I had to also mix it before time. Don't add your SLS like that. Make sure your chemicals are pre-treated. So I'm saying it for another time for emphasis. So you add it here. So at this point that we begin to see that the soap begins to thicken more and more and more. Then you add your foam booster at this point. No need of pre-treating this or dissolving it, because already in chemical form. Remember to always use your gloves. For this training, I used 3 different gloves. When I found one getting wet, I always just change it to make sure I easily was able to cleanse it. So at this point, I had to begin to stir. There's a lot of stirring at this point to make sure everything comes together. And look at what we have here. It's already thickening up. It is forming. I had to still mix, and I found that it was really forming and all of that. but I was really almost done with the soap. Soap making is very beautiful, and it's so rewarding, because for your effort you see a lot of results. And the foaming was so much here. That is why you can say that you finished producing. You can say that you finished producing in 1 day. Soap making always takes 2 days. Okay, so the foam was so much here. This is why you have to leave it till the next day so it can cool down. All right. So because you can add your fragrance and your color when it is soapy this way. Is the foam is going to swallow up your whole fragrance, and your color is not going to come out well. So it's important to allow it to stand for another 1 day overnight. Yes, allow it to stand. You can see the whole thing is coming up. This is the chemical reaction going on. If you've done chemistry in secondary school, this is just the time to practice it. It's so foaming. This foaming quality of a soap is a huge quality test. You can't mix soap that is not foaming or that is watery. As we have said in our troubleshooting. So that is where we stopped. It's just the
So my
fragrance and
ladies,
the
we're
color
done
that
for
is
today, and
remaining.
so you'll be seeing the
So
video of how
thank
I've
you so
added the
much for watching and
fragrance and the
here
color. Thank you
or
for
just
joining me so
sharing
far.
you
So right now
all
we're just
and
going to cover
see
up
what we've done, see what
the
we have
soap we have made,
achieved.
and then
And
allow it
so
to
thank you for being with us
because all of
in
these
this
chemicals are
training,
still in the
and we're going to
bubble.
have
We
to
have to just
continue
allow the bubble to settle
tomorrow
in, and then
to
we
put the
can finish
fragrance
up the
and to
soap.
put the
Thank you.
colors. So now just cover it. I'm going to store it till the next day. This is what we have to allow, and the next day here we are. This is how it feels. The It's so thick now. Oh my god, it's so thick. In fact, I had to put about it's up to 2 liters of water I added to make it soluble because it was so thick. We can't really use it at this point, because it was not very soluble. So I needed to add water to make it better. So, but that was not the very first thing that I did. I did more stirring. Stirring helps the chemicals to come together. If you're doing a larger quantity, you may need a machine to make it stir. So I removed some some meals from this because I was going to make 2 colors like I've showed you. Have you seen the consistency? Have you seen that why it needed more water on it? So that is what we did. I had to separate these, then I had to add my colors. To the lesser plastic, the smaller plastic, I added blue color. To the larger plastic, I added green color. This really helped me to get the right quantities I needed for my soap. We have seen how it is. Some people use it. If you need a shower gel, you can even have it colorless this way. So at this point, I've already finished adding the color. Look at it, the blue and the green soap, and that is what we have. I mix completely, and it's so for me. It's so for me. This is the blue, and from the container I showed you, this is the green. The green and blue rather. This one can serve as a toilet. As a hand wash. Yes, antibacterial hand wash. And the green one can serve. Now, this is when I wanted to just test the quality and see, how foamy it is very important. To see, I've just added a drop into the water and see how foamy it is. It was so foamy, and this is my kitchen, and I just needed to show you what works here. The foaming is so unbeatable, and it lasts. It's not the one that deforms and then it stops. In fact, liquid soap making is far much better in washing the cheese, and even when you're using with washing machine, you should use liquid soap. The important thing is make sure it's foaming at the right quantities. Put your best fragrance. And then that was it. I just said, let me use this plate. I just washed this plate. The foaming is something else. And so a little drop, a little quantity goes a long way. And then I just washed these 2 plates to just show us an example and washing of my sink. And then to show you how lovely, how beautiful it is. So thank you so much for joining me. And I hope you can make yours and show us what you've done. And it's so important to get the right chemicals in the right place. All right. So this is what we did. I just wanted to test for both soaps because I've I've done for the green soap, and this is it. And then you can use this to wash your hands, and and the fragrance is beautiful. It's beautiful. So I washed the sink, and that was how we wrapped up today. So was your feedback? I hope you enjoyed the training. I hope you're happy. When are you going to produce yours? Please send me your chat and let me see your thoughts. So here we go. This soap makes me so happy. So that is it.
Wanna make it last, try to let go of the past. I close my eyes, embrace the blast. Sleepless nights and headaches stack, restlessness to